welcome to Blossom Sandwich Sews. My name is Yvette and today I'm going to be taking you through my June makes. So I was kind of in two minds about doing this type of video, and I originally might have said that I wasn't going to do this just because I feel like doing a monthly roundup, it's, where everything a person has made is like all together in one video. It can make it very easy to like compare yourself and what you've sewn like against what other people have done. And obviously like everyone's got different situations, and some people obviously can't sew as much. So yeah, like I know for me sometimes I watch the monthly roundups and I'm a bit like, oh my god, how do people have time to do this? But then I thought, like, obviously probably most of the people watching my channel are watching it because they're interested in sewing, and judging from like comments that people have left, not everyone like already follows me on Instagram, so they might not have seen all the stuff that I've been making, so I thought I'd share it anyway. But yeah, do let me know what you think about like a monthly roundup of makes type of video, and leave a comment below if you like this type of video, or give it a thumbs up. And then yeah, if you're not interested, just leave a comment just to say I'd rather have, I don't know, different types of videos, because that would be helpful for me to know like what you guys enjoy watching. Anyway, so I'll crack on and let you know about what I've been making in the month of June. So this patchwork Gilbert top I've been sharing in June, but I actually finished it like right at the end of May. It just took me a while to like take photos and get around to posting it. I don't know if some of you guys find that. So yeah, that's why I'm not going to talk about this. And also I have like a whole video about that and the whole saga that entailed. So yeah, go and watch that video if you haven't seen it already and you want to know a bit more about the Gilbert top. The second thing that I made is this Tilly and the Buttons Lyra dress. So just move my hair out the way so you can see the collar. So this was my first time doing like a collar with a stand, because the Gilbert is like a camp style collar, so it's just like you just attach the collar directly to the shirt. But with this, there's like, I don't know if you'll be able to see, like a separate bit that you attach the collar to, and then you attach that to the shirt. That probably doesn't make any sense, but I'm thinking of doing like another video that's like a dual pattern review, kind of comparing the Lyra to the Helen's Closet Gilbert, because I've made like this type of a shirt dress using the Gilbert top as well. So let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing that and me kind of reviewing the patterns side by side. So I'll put in a picture of this so you can see it full length, to save me kind of standing on the chair and stuff. But yeah, this fabric is a cotton, like a quilting weight cotton. I think it's a Little Johnny design, and I bought that from Hey Sew Sister. Oh no, actually I was given this from Hey Sew Sister in return for coming up with the hashtag Hey Sew Siblings. So if you buy any fabric from the shop Hey Sew Sister, you can share it with the hashtag Hey Sew Siblings, and then you will get entered into like a monthly draw, and Georgie and Ollie will pick a winner to win a voucher for Hey Sew Sister, and then you can get more amazing Hey Sew Sister fabric. So that is a great thing to join in with on Instagram if you're active on Instagram and you like buying fabric, which I imagine you do if you're here and you've been sitting watching through my fabric stash videos for the last couple of weeks. So in terms of the Lyra shirt, this pattern is aimed at like, what the Tilly and the Buttons call it, improvers, I think, but it's like an sort of intermediate pattern. And honestly, I did find it quite difficult. Like, this is my first time doing the collar stand. And yeah, my collar, you probably won't be able to see, but one of them turned out quite a bit longer than the other, but I'll put in a picture where you can see that a bit better. And also just like getting the stand onto the shirt, like the stand seemed way too big. And like even with easing, it just seemed like it was never going to fit, so I ended up having to trim it down. And I was chatting to someone else on Instagram about that, and they made it in the same size as me. So this is a size 5. And they had a similar issue with the stand not fitting onto the shirt properly. There was like an overhang here, so it's supposed to fit on and like line up perfectly at the end. So I'm wondering if it's like an issue with the pattern, or even if it's not, I feel like maybe there's an issue with the instructions that makes it unclear why it wouldn't fit. I don't really know. So yeah, please, if you've made Tilly and the Buttons Lyra in a size 5, let me know how it went, specifically putting on the collar stand, because I am curious if that's like a pattern issue, because like I didn't stretch it out or anything, because I checked it again against the original pattern pieces and it was, you know, the right size. It just didn't fit on. So that was a bit weird. Yeah, overall I wasn't like hugely impressed with the Lyra instructions, if I'm honest. I mean, I get the impression that obviously when you have a printed pattern, the instructions can only be so long because they need to fit inside a booklet. But there's certain things, like when you did the buttonholes, it didn't tell you in the instructions how many buttonholes to make. You have to put, like, I had to scroll all the way back through to find out how many buttons it told you that you needed at the start to, like, know how many buttonholes to do, and just that sort of thing. Like where it was like, this is the first like shirt that like I've made apart from the Gilbert, which is obviously much easier style of shirt. So yeah, overall I found it quite difficult, and things like that in the instructions made it just a bit more frustrating for me in a way. So this project I worked on for quite a while. I'll put in a size chart of the sizes. There's 2 size bands now for Tilly and the Buttons. So they've got a slightly bigger size range, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Yeah, so I wouldn't recommend it for a beginner, shall we say. I know a lot of people have made the Lyra and they've made really amazing versions. But yeah, I feel like you don't always know how much work it's taken behind the scenes. So yeah, anyone who has made the Lyra and potentially found it a bit difficult, do leave a comment and let me know that I'm not alone. So I used, for the buttons, these amazing Pigeon Wishes buttons. And they're like, the colours sort of blend in really perfectly with this like busy print. So yeah, I feel like maybe it's not quite doing the buttons justice. Like they're getting lost in the print a bit, but also they go really well. So yeah, I'm happy. And these Pigeon Wishes, they're like shirting buttons. They come in quite a big pack, so I've still got quite a few left, so I'll be able to use them on another make as well. In terms of fitting on the Lyra, it's quite a loose fit, like on the waist. So I didn't do the waist ties on this version, because it's quite generous on the waist. But I think the shoulders are too wide for me. So this is the shoulder seam here, like, and my shoulder like bone is like here. So I think I'm going to have to do like quite a substantial narrow shoulder adjustment potentially, because my arm movement is sort of restricted, because just the arm side comes out, I feel, a lot further than it should. So yeah, I need to sort of look up how to do that, because I've never done that before. But yeah, I think in general the Tilly patterns are quite like drafted for quite wide shoulders, because the measurements on the pattern were fairly spot on to like my own measurements. I was like, oh good, I won't have to grade or anything. So yeah, I'll need to think about doing a shoulder adjustment, or potentially going down a size in the bodice and maybe doing a FBA, but I don't know if that would be any less effort. Anyway, if anyone's got experience with shoulder adjustments, let me know. I feel like I'm just telling everyone to comment about everything in this video. But yeah, so that's my Lyra. Anyway, it's pretty fun. Even though it was a bit of a slog to make it, but I feel like that's a bit of a theme of all my projects, to be honest. The next thing I made, I'm actually so pleased with. but that did merit a love and swear words as well, because you know, it's me, and that's how all my sewing goes. So I started this for the on the sewing weekend that hosted by the Fold Line and Charlotte Emma Patterns, and this is a like absolutely amazing cotton lawn from the rag shop. I think it might be a Lady McElroy one. So it's really hard to show, and I'm not gonna keep getting changed because it's hot. But anyway, this is the Norma blouse, which is one of my favourite patterns. I've made quite a lot of the Norma blouse. But yeah, originally when I sewed it on the sewing weekender, I managed to sew the like right bodice piece to the left of the back, and you know, did the bodice pieces backwards. So I had the two arm holes in the middle and the neckline down the armholes, and then I sewed the facing on back to front as well. So yeah, that was just ridiculous. Basically, I had to just unpick everything. Yeah, but then it's come together really well in the end. I've got the puffy sleeves, and I slightly deepened the hem as well, or the like cuff band, because I find it just a bit fiddly to do the thin band and sew it on. Yeah, so it's a Norma blouse, but then I've cropped it, the blouse pattern, like at my natural waist, and then added on 2 tiers. So it's quite long. It's sort of a midi length, I'd say. It finishes like just above my ankles. So it's got like the drama of a long skirt, but without the tripping over off like a proper maxi that goes down to the ground. Yeah, and then the bottom tier is quite gathered. I was not sure how wide to make the bottom tier, like relative to the middle tier, but I basically just went for the full width of the fabric, and I really like how it turned out. Yeah, so I feel like it's got some Vampire's Wife energy. So I'm planning to wear that to a wedding in a couple of weeks, so that will be good. I'm really glad that I did finally manage to get it finished in time. Yeah, I also made this belt to go with it as well from the same fabric. So I just interfaced both sides of the fabric and then sewed them together and turned it out. And I've got this buckle that I was sent from Ethel and Joan, which is amazing. And I feel like the purple really brings out the purple in the print as well. So that's really nice as well, and I think that sort of sets it off and just makes it a little bit smarter rather than having it more sort of smock style. It cinches it in at the waist a bit. But the only thing I'm finding with the belt is that it kind of comes loose. I don't know whether it's because the fabric is so like nice and smooth and soft, it doesn't really grip. So yeah, this is how I've like set up the belt. I've sewn on the end of it into the middle part of the buckle, and then I just thread the belt through and then over, but I find that it sort of slips a bit and comes a bit loose, so I have to keep fiddling with it. So I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. If anyone uses this type of a belt buckle before and there's like a better way to use it, then let me know. This sort of seemed logical when I was thinking about it. But yeah, otherwise I might just sort of put a little safety pin like inside just to stop it slipping. And then you shouldn't be able to see it, and it'll just keep it on and stop me fussing with it. But yeah, that's kind of a good thing about having worn it out before like wearing it to the wedding. I don't want this dress to be like special occasions only, because I want to be able to like actually get wear out of it, because I, you know, spent money on the fabric and spent time making it. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I'll put in some more pictures of me actually wearing it. Oh yeah, I've got some more Pigeon Wishes buttons as well, but in a different colourway. And they're a similar situation than with my Lyra shirt, where the buttons are really beautiful and they match the fabric really well. And then I feel like, oh, should I you know, saved these buttons to use on a plain fabric, so they would stand out more, but I think they're really nice. So yeah, let me know what you think, whether you would have gone for like a plain purple button to match the buckle potentially instead. And then the third and final thing that I made in June is this t-shirt. So yeah, this again, you will notice a theme, had some kind of issues with it. It didn't go super smoothly. This fabric is a cotton jersey that I bought from Hey Sew Sister again. So another Hey Sew siblings make. And I plan to make a Fibre Mood Mabel top, which is like a kind of 3/4 length sleeves, puff sleeves, like light jumper. But yeah, I struggled with getting the neckband in, so I redid that several times, and then I twin needle top stitched it down, which did end up coming out quite nicely. But yeah, I just unpicked it at least 6 times, and I was doing that thing, you know, where you unpick a bit, like you unpick the dodgy bit and try and redo that, but because of the way the fabric's distributed in the rest of it, that dodgy bit, the amount that's left is like never going to go in smoothly, if that makes sense. So yeah, I ended up just fully unpicking it and doing it again, and then it kind of worked out mostly okay. And then I had a nightmare with the sleeves, so you will notice that this is now a t-shirt and not the 3/4 length Mabel, because I had a nightmare with the cuffs, because I made the cuffs from the same fabric, because I don't want to go out and buy more ribbing, and also this fabric's super cute, so I wanted to use it. So I made the cuff and was like, oh yeah, this fits fine. But then I'd kind of forgotten that it's not a full sleeve, it finishes like here. So obviously that cuff is like, that's not happening for me up there. I think I found a similar thing with the Norma as well, like the Fibre Mood patterns are not drafted for chunky forearms. So yeah, that I sewed it on and then couldn't get my arm in it, so I was like, oh. Then I recut it again out of the like scraps of fabric, but then I like really cut it too big. It's sort of like a Goldilocks situation where it fits, but it's loose, so then it doesn't, the sleeve isn't held there, it sort of slipped down and just looked a bit sad, and I just got a bit fed up with it, so I was like, it's going to be a t-shirt now. So yeah, I kind of hacked it off, and now it's a t-shirt. Oh, another thing that went wrong with this is that I somehow cut the sleeves out upside down. So the stripes go on the bodice from like a purpley colour through blue and green and then to the reds, whereas they're like the other way up on the sleeves. I don't think it's like super noticeable from a distance, but it was kind of annoying. And then I didn't have enough fabric to recut the sleeves. And I tried to stripe match, so the stripe matching on the sides I think went pretty well. I'm doing such a bad job of like demonstrating, but you can believe me that the sides are stripe matched nicely. And then I sort of tried to match the sleeves as well, but I'm not convinced that's like fully possible. I don't know, let me know if you've got any tips on that. And then it's got like the puff shoulder still, which I think is quite cute. It's a bit, I don't know, I'm gonna call it unique for a t-shirt, but yeah, I think that's cute, and I probably will wear that. The issue is now with making tops, because I've been dragging my heels and making bottoms so much, and I'm still got kind of downer on wearing jeans right now, I'm finding I'm not wearing my tops that much because I've got nothing to wear them with. So yeah, I think I really need to get on and make some bottoms. So maybe that will have to be like my challenge for next month. I also have this rainbow patch that I also got from Hey Sew Sister that I considered adding to this, but my husband said it would be too much. So it does also have rainbow overlocking inside as well. So yeah, let me know what you think about the rainbow patch, whether I should go for it and just add it on, or whether it would be better to like save it and use it to like spice up a plain t-shirt. Because I might even like, I could even add it to like a ready to wear t-shirt just to like give it a new lease of life. Yeah, so that's everything I've made in June. So not a lot really, it's just 3 things. But I thought I would show you and tell you about how hard I failed in the process of making them all. If there's anything that you want to know more specifically about, just let me know down below, or follow me on Instagram. So my handle is Blossom Sandwich on Instagram. If you don't follow me over there, I post quite long captions with all the details in. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know, I said in my previous video that I don't have a lot of jersey, and I think I don't really like sewing jersey, not because it's like difficult to sew, but I think that it's difficult to get a professional level of finish in like home sewing jersey. I don't know if you find a similar thing, but I feel like even with like a twin needle, it's not the same as what you get on ready to wear. I think maybe jersey ready to wear is done on like a special machine, like a cover stitch type machine. And I just feel like it never looks as good when I make it myself. But it might, you know, maybe that's just because I don't have a lot of practice of sewing with jersey and I'm just not very good at it. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think about sewing with jersey and whether you prefer wovens. Yeah, so like I said, that's everything I've made. I feel like this has been kind of a bit of a chatty and rambly video. But let me know what you thought about it. If you didn't like it, like, please don't do a thumbs down, because that doesn't help me know what the issue is. Like, just let me know in the comments if you have any constructive feedback. I am new to this, so I'm really keen to let you like know what people think, and if anyone's got any tips or ideas. Before I go, I thought I'd just tell you about a couple of patterns that I've bought recently, because I don't think I've mentioned them before, potentially. But I bought them in some sales, which is my excuse for buying them. Probably the sales aren't going anymore, but I bought the Valley dress, which now I say it, I feel like I have mentioned that before, but I still need to get it printed. So I got the Valley dress from Pattern Fantastique, which I'm really excited to make. I've seen some really amazing versions already, so I feel like this is going to become one of those cult patterns that like everyone ends up making. But yeah, let me know what you think about the Valley dress. It's got really big puff sleeves. Yeah, so I'm hoping to make that for the Sew 70s challenge, but I want to try it out, like just do a tester version first before I cut into my really nice fabric. So that might take me a while to get done because I'm fairly slow at sewing, and apparently there's like 60 steps in the instructions. I'm hoping that's just because the instructions are super comprehensive and detailed and not because it's really hard, but we'll see. Another pattern that I bought recently is the Helen's Closet Reynolds dress. Yeah, I wasn't sure about it at first because I was like, oh, I feel like you could just easily draft this yourself. It just seems like, you know, 2 rectangles with some straps on. But then watching Helen's Closet stories, she did like a whole feature about the pattern and her did all the different samples and how she's designed it and stuff. And there's like a special like curved seam up the back, so it makes it fitted without it needing any fastening. So I was like, this seems pretty genius. So yeah, so then I did get that in the like 20% off at release sale. So now I'm considering using my viscose linen for that, which I was gonna make the Leo dungarees in. I might make a Reynolds instead, but also I really do like the Leos, so I don't know, maybe I'll just end up having to buy more fabric. Whoops. And then also the Friday Pattern Company, they've released a new pattern, a slip dress, but I didn't get that one partly because it's similar to the Reynolds and because it's thin straps, and I prefer the wider straps which the Reynolds has, just so I don't have to worry about my bra strap if I wear it, you know, on its own in the summer. But because of this release, Friday Pattern Company were doing a big sale on like all their patterns. So I bought the square neck top, which works for knits and wovens, which is quite interesting. And I think it would be good as like a kind of scrap buster type project, as it won't use too much fabric. Yeah, so let me know if you've used any of those patterns, the Valley dress, the square neck top, or if you've made the Reynolds already. And let me know how you found that, because that would be cool to know. Yeah, so that's me done for this sort of rambly episode. And yeah, happy sewing everyone, and I'll see you around. Bye!